Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from okay to very high. Know your sleep score with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Hunting Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and we got a great episode for you today. Today, we're connecting with a listener who did not leave me alone because I was hard to get a hold of, and I appreciate him for that because in October we tried, had some internet issues, had a couple more today, but he didn't let me forget, and we got him on here. And so today we are talking with Keith Sperber. Keith is out of Idaho, lifetime hunter, just an all-around good dude, great stories. Keith, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man. I really do appreciate you. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Don't mind a couple technical issues, but we worked ourselves through it. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And if you get a chance when you're done listening, give us a review if you think we deserve it. Thank you. All right, Keith. Welcome to the Hunting Stories Podcast, brother. How are you, man?
Pretty good. How you been?
Dude, I'm good. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you pestered me. You didn't pester me. I'm glad that you kept me honest because, man, we connected in October and we didn't have the bandwidth to make the recording happen, and you didn't let me forget. And then here I am, just like happy to talk to you. I'm excited to hear your stories. You've shared so many like little tidbits with me over the couple months, man, that I just can't wait to hear your stories.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell them. I'm excited. I have been. Kind of why I've been just keeping up with you. Not really pestering, but keeping up.
No, not at all pestering. But like since you and I tried the first time, I've had a baby. I got laid off from a job, got a new job, and then work is just absolutely crazy. So, man, I appreciate you, one, for being so passionate about telling your stories, but two, for staying on me because I'm the one that dropped the ball here. Let's do this, Keith, man.
I understand.
Thanks,
life
brother. Thanks.
Easy. Yeah,
It does. But let's do this, brother. Introduce yourself. Who are the folks hearing some stories from today, man? Let's just jump into this thing.
I'm Keith Sperber. I'm from North Idaho. I was born in Washington, but I grew up here in North Idaho since I was pretty much born. I mean, my parents moved here after that, so but yeah, I was raised here with huge family. We've all hunted and fished and outdoors and gathered and that kind of stuff. So
That's awesome, man.
We love it up here. So it's good times.
What took you from Washington to Idaho? Was it the politics or something else?
Oh, no. I was born in Washington, but I was brought here like immediately afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So I was born in Washington, but I was raised in Idaho.
Gotcha, man. Cool. So you've been hunting your entire life, your whole family. That's what you guys do up there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah,
well, you know what, dude? Let's jump into some stories. I mean, you got a Starlink. I'm not going to say it was just for this podcast, but it definitely is going to help us here record. So why don't we dive into it, man? Set the stage for the first story.
Yeah. So, well, I want to say, I think one of the best ones was probably my first archery bull. Uh,
Okay.
I'd hunted elk for many years before that. It was kind of a more of a going out for me. I mean, yes, the hunting was for fun and all that stuff, but it was definitely 90% about the meat, or going
Okay.
going for the food. So, um, but I started getting into archery hunting. Um, oh gosh, I want to say in like 2015, maybe 2016, something like that.
Okay.
And
So you've been rifle up to that point, basically.
yeah, pretty much mainly rifle. Um,
Okay. What was it for you? I always like to ask this question. Like, what was it for you that was like, I'm switching? Like for me, it was the weather
uh,
initially,
but
and then I fell in love with archery. But what was it for you?
so what it was for me was I'd gone out with one buddy and we'd got into him a little bit with a bow, and he was mainly bow hunting, and I was just I kind of knew how to call. I'd been practicing and doing a lot of calling and stuff, and so I was kind of there just to kind of help get him into the elk. And we
Okay.
got into him a little bit, and then one year, man, we just slopped out and we got into him like opening day right away, bang, elk everywhere. And we were just like elk every day, elk every day. It was awesome. And I wasn't really carrying a bow. I was the caller, and he was the archery guy.
Okay.
And we could never really get him on one. Um, but we saw some really nice. I mean, it was hard to come across some really nice bulls up here.
We'll just pick up from where do we want to pick up? Just start your story over. Um, or I was asking about what's got you started in archery hunting.
Right, right. So what got me started was hunting with one buddy. We were getting into elk. I mean, one season we just got so lucky. We were into lots of elk, a lot. Every day
Yeah.
we went out, we were into them, and it was a lot of fun. It was fun to call to them and get them to come close, but we could never get like the bigger bulls or anything to come within range. We couldn't get a bull to even a young bull to come in because up here it's a little different. You don't there's not a it's basically an antlered animal is as long as the spikes are a certain height, you're good to go. So
Okay.
um
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, in Colorado, it's like the brow tine is 4 inches or something like that, and you're good to go.
oh, okay. So yeah, we uh we were out doing that. Well, I had another buddy that kind of talked to about hunting a lot, but we didn't never really ever went hunting together or anything like that. And he'd come out one time when I um shot an elk with a rifle and I couldn't find it, and he came out and helped me find it. So I
Okay.
called him up and was like, "Hey man, I know you archery hunt a lot, but we're in these elk and we're just not sure we're not sure what we're doing wrong." And he got us he got us in on him. First time we went out together, me, my other buddy that I started archery hunting with, and him. The next season, I actually picked up a bow and was like, "Okay, let's go." And uh, man, like pretty much right off the bat, we just started getting into elk, and we found this found this really really nice bull, and my one buddy that I had originally started archery hunting with and calling for him, he kind of held back, and my other buddy's like, "Let's attack! Like, let's crawl to him. Let's get close to him. Let's bugle at him.
Yeah.
Let's let him think we're a bull and we're coming to steal his cows." Like, that's kind of how his persona was about getting after an elk, and it ended
Okay.
up working. Other, uh, we had like cattle in the way and everything, and we thought the cattle were gonna spook them off, and they didn't. Because we were on private ground, but we had permission to be there, and anyway, we ended up closing the deal, and that it was a big 6x7, and he came in. Well, big for here. It was a little over 300. I didn't shoot it.
That's a good
My
bull, man.
Yeah, it was a good bull. Like I said, for this area, is pretty good size. Anyway, I was drawn back on it. He was off to the side of me. He just had a better shot, and he took it. And he Robin Hooded that thing. So it
That's
was
awesome.
a pretty. He put an arrow through a small window and got it. And after that, I was hooked. I couldn't look back for archery elk. So
That's awesome, dude. That's a great story. It's like how you got started, rather than me just being like, I'm cold. Okay, so that's cool. I thought for a second we had gone into your story of getting your first elk, but that was your buddy's first elk and how you got started with archery.
well,
So,
yeah, that was a
oh,
quick version of it. I could have gone on forever, but that was what got me hooked on archery elk right there, was
okay,
that being around him with that. So
awesome. Let's talk about yours then, man. Let's get to it.
so that for my first one, he ended up the next season. We were archery hunting together, and we got into some of these elk together, and there was a really nice bull in the herd, but there was also a couple smaller raghorns, and we kind of, we didn't really care which one we took. We just were kind of out there to close the deal,
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm after one bull that's bugling. I'm about 700-800 yards away from him, and I've got this bull bugling, and he's got another bull bugling, and it comes down right in front of him, and he shoots. It's like comes down within 25 yards of him on an old logging road, and he shoots right over the top. And he's like a veteran at this point. He's a veteran archery hunter, and he
Yeah.
was like taken aback that somehow that bull had ducked under his arrow at 25 yards.
Jeez.
This also is what convinced him to get a new bow the next year. So he shoots over the top of it, and he's like, "Oh, dang." And he's so taken aback. He's all flustered and everything. And it goes about 40 yards and stands there in front of him, broadside. So he just grabbed another arrow out of his quiver, puts it in, not paying attention really to kind of what was going on. And he shoots and he thumps him. And he's like, "Oh, heck yeah, I hit him. Heard it. Everything's good." He goes another 60 yards, stops, stands broadside, looks at my buddy, and he's like, "I'm not going to do it because I already know I sealed the deal." So he's like, "I just let him go." Well, he gets down to go look for his arrow after he gave the elk a wait. You give it about a 30-minute wait before you start
Yeah.
looking for your arrow. Goes down, and he grabbed a grouse blunt tip out of his
Oh
quiver for the second
no.
shot and thumped him in the side with that. And he had
Great
another
shot that did
shot.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I come back. I'd heard, I was on my way back to him when I heard a bunch of stuff, branches break, and I know I was quite a ways away, but I could still hear like branches breaking and stuff. I thought, man, I think, I heard all of his commotion. I kind of figured something had gone on, and when I get to him, he tells me the whole story, and I'm
Oh, that's
like, "Oh,
brutal.
dang, that sucks."
Yeah.
So we go back.
God, I can't imagine.
Yeah. And so we go back out there the next morning. We take two of his boys with us. They're teenagers, young teenagers at that point.
Mhm.
And we go we go out there and same spot, and he's like, okay, Keith, that bull was up here on that knoll, up in those trees. He came right out of there. I started bugling. He came right down. And I said, okay. Well, he goes, why don't you go sit up by, there's is a clear cut. So he sets me up by this, there's 3 or 4 little tiny trees about as tall as I am. I'm only about 5'8" or so. And
Okay.
they're right about my height. He goes, just stand in front of those and just sit there. He came right down this trail. I'll go over here and cow call and see if go hide and cow call off to the side and see if he'll come down. So he goes over there with his boys and starts cow calling. And I don't know, not even 5 minutes, that bull was bedded down up there and stands up. And I went, oh, cool. And I see him. And sure as heck, he starts to come down. Well, he started coming down on the wrong side of me. My wind would have been blowing right in his face.
Oh no.
And he starts coming down. I'm like, oh, he's going to win me. He's going to stop. He's not going to give me a shot. And I was just thinking, oh, this is bad. Well, there's a main road that runs through there about, I don't know. You can see where we were at from the main road. So maybe a quarter of a mile away. And someone stopped up on the main road, got out of their truck, slams the door, and bugles. And he stopped and turned around and starts walking back up the hill towards the patch of trees that he came out of, that he was bedded down in. And I'm like, oh no, that sucks. Well, then my buddies thought I was the one bugling. So he kind of paused, kind of quit cow calling, thought, what the hell are you doing,
Yeah.
And it wasn't me. I just had my cow call ready in my mouth to just stop him. That's all I was going to do was stop him when I was ready for him. Well, he finally decided he was going to start cow calling again. And he could see the bull once he got up to that. There was an upper road above me too that he crossed before he came down. And he saw him kind of get back up on that upper road. And he was like, what the heck? Why did he go back up? So he started cow calling and he came back down where my wind wasn't in his face. And I was like, yes, this is awesome. Man. So he's coming down and there's a little tiny, 1 inch around tree out in front of me. I ranged it at 25 yards. I'm like, and he's coming right behind it. And I go, okay, as soon as he gets on the other side of that tree, I'm going to stop him. I'm going to stick him. And that's exactly what happened. He come down, he went on the other side of that tree and I stopped him with my cow call and he just rubbernecked me, looked right at me and I stuck him. Wasn't the greatest shot, but I still got him. It took a little while to find him, but once I did, man, it was awesome. And it was funny because his oldest boy, walked right by him, but because he was in the shadow of the trees, he didn't see him. And we went back.
No way.
Yeah, we went back through this patch of trees and we found him. It was like, all right. So, but because he taught me, I'd been able to track blood before, blood tracking and stuff. But he taught me some skills about just taking it easy, just going slow, try not to mess up the area too much. And yeah, that his blood tracking skills definitely helped us find that bull. So
that's awesome. Cool. That's a great story.
Yeah.
So how many years did you put in archery hunting before you got one?
So 2 without a bow. Technically, like I said, I was calling and stuff with the buddy, trying to help him out. And then the next year, I carried a bow and kind of got all my, I had to take the bow class because I hadn't taken it. So I took the bow class and then got into it. And I didn't get one the first year, but the second year I was actually carrying a bow. I got one. So
Okay, dude, that's
pretty
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, and that's a fun story. I still can't believe your buddy shot a grouse arrow at a bull.
Oh, and because we take care of our own animals, we don't go have them processed at anywhere. We do it
Yeah,
ourselves. We do the full process. When we skinned him out, he had a pretty nice bruise on his side
that's funny.
from that grouse arrow. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's a
But
great story, man.
he was like, well, he goes, that's to you, because we'd kind of found the bull he'd shot the year before. We'd kind of found that and put him on that really nice bull, and he's like, yeah, you definitely deserve that anyway. So yeah,
Well,
so
that's
and then
awesome.
what's cool,
That's
what's cool about him? He's just a 4x5. He's not a giant bull or nothing. But he's got a hook tying. It looks like a hook. It's really kind of
interesting.
cool looking. So that's
Huh.
one of my favorite features about him.
Hey, hunters. Have you ever had one of those stories, the ones that you didn't want to tell, the ones that end in failure? Yeah, I've been there. Actually, you know what? The culprit for me usually is bad optics, or worse, lack of using my optics at all. Picture this. I spot a trophy buck, or an antelope, or an elk, whatever it may be. My heart is racing, but the blurry view, or I just can't quite identify exactly what I'm looking at, it has me second guessing. Well, that's where Vortex Optics comes in. With crystal clear glass and rugged durability, Vortex gives you the confidence to take the shot. Don't let poor optics ruin your story. Make every moment count. Upgrade to Vortex and turn your hunting tales into triumphs. Visit vortexoptics.com today.
The road to the NBA Finals ends here, with star guard setting the tone. The Cavs eye another upset, while the Knicks carry the dreams of all of New York. The Eastern Conference Finals continue on ESPN and ABC.
Where is Daredevil? I'm right here. Don't miss the return of Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
So what's next?
I feel liberated,
We're gonna take this city back.
over medicated.
In an all-new season, now streaming only on Disney+.
They're hunting us. It's time we started hunting them.
I can work with that.
This should be tons of fun.
Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again, now streaming only on Disney+.
That's super cool. You gotta send me a photo of that guy so I can take a look at that hook. I love seeing weird
I'll
stuff.
send
I've
you
always
a
wanted to.
photo of him out in the field. We got one of them out in the
Sweet.
field with his boys that he brought, his teenage boys, which are all grown up and married and stuff now.
Yeah.
So
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, I've always wanted to get a bull with like just some crazy like antler that goes like straight down. That's like a solid line or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I say I always want one, but I've only gotten one bull in general. I mean, he's a 300 and plus inch bull, but still, like,
Oh
it
yeah.
would be pretty cool to have something like that.
I've only been able to miss one that was over 300. I missed it. It still makes me sick to this day, let me tell you.
I bet, dude. I
But
bet,
it
man.
was a great
you miss
story,
on a
but
smaller one. A miss is a miss. They don't feel good.
yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
All right, cool, man. Well, what other stories you got for us? I know you got a bunch, so we're gonna rapid fire this today.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go with my son and my epic deer hunting day. That was pretty fun.
Let's do it.
A couple years ago, we were out deer hunting. And, well, okay, so it started out actually. I was texting my father, and the night before, and was like, "Hey, would you want to go hunting in the morning?" He goes, "Yeah, let's go." And I said, "Hey, where do you want to go?" And being I don't know what happened, but he never texted me back. Never. really got back a hold of me about what was going on. So I was like, okay, well, I guess Jaron and I will go to the same place we'd been going. We knew there was a nice buck in there, and I was trying to get him on a buck. Yeah, I didn't care. I just wanted him to shoot one. It would have been his first one. So, well, my dad texted me the next morning, and I was like thinking, well, maybe we'll just sleep in, go out late, because I've done that, sleep in, go out late, and still have luck. And I'm not kidding. I've done it multiple times.
Yeah.
I was like, let the boys sleep. And we'll go out a little later and just go tromp around and see what we can get into. Well, my dad texted me. He goes, "Hey, it snowed last night." And I went, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, we should go." And I was like, "Okay." So I get up, I get my son up, and we go out, meet up with my dad in this spot, and it's private ground. The people that we knew them, they had a code to the gate, and they gave us the code, so we went up and got in there, and I was like, I don't care if I'm necessarily there with my sons. I mean, I do care, but like the fact that like it would be cool if my dad was there too for my son's first deer, I was like, we could, if you guys want to split up, we can. And my dad's like, yeah, I was going to go up here. I go, well, how about Jaron go with you? And, if you've been up there a lot. And he goes, oh, yeah, I've ran into quite a few bucks up there. And I was like, okay, well, I'll take the fence line. You guys go up. And he goes, okay. So we're, hunting, and I don't know, probably not even an hour and a half into the hunt. And I hear a gunshot. And I was like, oh, sweet. That came from up there, and it sounded like a smaller caliber. My son was shooting at 243.
Yeah.
So I texted my dad and waited for a while, and as I was walking along, man, I was seeing all sorts of scrapes and rubs and stuff on the ground and rubs on trees, and I'm like, holy cow, there's a ton of deer in here. I'm like, this is great. And we'd been in a completely different spot a couple miles away, and there's good sign, but not like that. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I finally get a text back from my dad. He's like, he got one. I go, nice. So I called him, and I go, so he got one. He's like, yeah, he shot a nice little 3-point. And I'm like, sweet. I told my dad, I was like, just let him get one under his belt. As long as it has antlers, I don't care,
As long as it's legal.
Yep, as long as it was legal, it was good to go. And well, and does were legal then too, but still, I just kind of, usually having antlers, they're bigger bodied, and that we care about the meat, so get a little bit more meat off of a buck. But so I go back there, and they had already drug it down to the logging road that was in there, and we walked back, and my dad has like a cool setup with a trailer and a 4-wheeler where you can carry the 4-wheeler on the trailer, but then you can put the trailer on the back of the 4-wheeler and then go in and get your animal. And because we had 100% right to go in and claim, our deer on the private ground, that's what we did. And I don't know, it took us about 5 minutes to go get it and come back out. The cool thing, one of the biggest things I remember about going and getting my son's deer was there was a big golden eagle that had already landed on it. And as we come around the corner where he was laying, that golden eagle flies off. And I was like, oh, that would have been like an epic video to catch that.
Yeah, that is cool.
That golden eagle flying off there. And they're not very prominent around here. So to see a golden eagle is pretty cool. So anyway, we get it back home. We get back to my dad's. We hang it up. We get it taken care of. Come home, eat some lunch. I go, you ready to go back out, son? And he's like, yeah. And I could tell he was tired, but he was so excited. The adrenaline was still flowing. He's like, okay, let's go. And I was like, all right. Because I wanted to go back out there so bad because there was so much deer sign in there. I mean, there was tons of deer sign. And so we went back in there and we sat on this field where there was rubs and scrapes. We sat on that field for like 2.5 hours and didn't see a thing.
Oh.
And he was getting tired. In fact, I think he'd actually already kind of taken a power nap as I was watching the field. And so I get out, I was like, let's go. I said, there's a little bit of daylight left. I said, we might get lucky and catch something on the way back to the truck. And he's like, okay. So we're hiking back to the truck and we get back to the main gate that we came through. And I look down and there's a deer in the field with his head down, it's eating, kind of coming along. And I was like, wow, that's a really big body deer. I'm like, if I get a shot, I'm going to take it. I don't care if it's a doe. I don't care if because either one was legal. So I was like, it's a big body deer. I'm going to take it. It, meat's meat. And, it's closer to the end of the season too. So, I'll fill my tag on that deer.
Yeah.
And it lifted its head and there was a kind of a slash pile about 50 yards in front of me. And there was a couple branches sticking off. So when he lifted his head, the branches were in front of his head. I could tell he had antlers, but I couldn't tell how big he was. So that didn't affect me, any way, shape, or form about taking the shot. And I got on him and I let her go. And it's probably like 90 yard shot or so. It wasn't a super far shot.
It's a pretty good shot with the bow, man.
Huh?
Are you doing rifle or bow?
No.
You're doing rifle at this point. Okay.
This is rifle hunting. Sorry, I forgot to specify that. So we can rifle hunt.
You mentioned your son shot a rifle, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is rifle hunting for deer. This is in late November.
Okay.
So when I shot, he bucked up on his back legs and I thought he took off down over the hill, and I was like, oh, I know I drilled him. I mean, the way he bucked and everything, and I just knew I got him. And so I go down, get around that slash pile, and I just see him laying there. And my eyes got, I don't know, as big as freaking dinner plates. I mean, it was the biggest buck I've ever seen in my life, or ever shot. I've seen bigger bucks, but biggest one I'd ever shot. And I was, holy crap. And I get down there and my son, I was running and my son's, he was a little younger than he is now. So he was a ways behind, not a ways behind me, but he was back behind me a little bit. Couldn't keep up right there. He come around the slash pile and I had the head held up showing him and he goes, holy cow. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Man, it took all we had. Even it wasn't very far from the truck. I didn't have to drag him very far, like 70 yards. And I was able to drive the truck right up this road right next to the fence line, hold him underneath the fence. We got him loaded up, but man, I tell you what, it took. He was 13 and I was, I'm up in the truck and he's trying to pick the head up to hand me the antlers. And I'm pulling with all I got. And I'm like, come on, lift, boy. And he's like probably on the hoof, I think he weighed over 250. I mean, he was a big whitetail.
That's awesome.
And it was pretty fun. And it was a great day. I'll never forget it ever.
That's cool, man. That's super cool.
On the same day.
Did you ever measure him?
Yes, I measured him. He's scored 174 gross.
Okay, that's a good deer, man. That's a real good, especially Idaho.
Yeah. So yeah, he was just really, he wasn't real wide, but he's super tall, and his main beams are long. I mean, when his main beams come together, he only has 4.5 inches in between the tips of his main beams.
No way.
So, yeah, he has a long main beam, but it's real thick. He's got a lot of like small points and stuff. Like he might score 160, net, and
Yeah.
I haven't had him officially scored net score yet, but I had somebody that's gross scored a lot of animals, and that's what he came up with. I don't really care about record books or anything like that. I'm not so I just know that the story was, and that's why the horns are there, is to remind me of the story. So.
That's cool, man. That's cool. That's crazy. He's only got a 4 inches between the tips of his main beams. I've only shot one whitetail, and he's like super wide and not very tall. So like for me, that's crazy to have only like a 4 inch gap, because mine, it's got to be almost like a foot and a half with mine. But he's not that tall. So
Right. Well, so that's just the tips. Like when he comes together in the tips, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. But his measurement in between his widest part is 15.5 inches. So,
okay,
but he's
that's a
super
cool
tall.
deer.
His tallest. I'll send you a picture of it. His tallest tine is 10.5 inches long,
Okay,
and the next one is 10 on the other side. But yeah, he's kind of symmetrical, but he's got like a double eye guard. He's got some junk on the base coming up. But yeah, he's pretty thick, and he's a dandy buck. I was pretty excited, and I was gonna take him whether he had those horns on his head or not. I mean, I was already set in my mind. As big as his body was, that deer was gonna be mine.
yeah,
So.
that's cool. What was your son just so fired up, especially knowing that like you kind of thought that he wanted to stay in, but you made him go back out, and then you get that monster? What was your son? What did he say?
Oh, he was just jacked. I mean, he was already like, I mean, I'm pretty sure he was overstimulated from him getting himself one that morning.
Yeah,
I mean, and you could tell he was, kind of tired. Like he wasn't going to admit it, but you could tell he was kind of tired. But he was ready to go back out because he had a good day already. He's like, yeah, let's do it. And then, you could tell as we were walking out there and stuff, he started to kind of drag a little bit. And we sat down up against that tree, and it was nap time, I think.
I believe it. I believe
But
that.
I didn't see anything anyway. I didn't even see a coyote or nothing. There's tons of coyotes in there, so that's what blew my mind. So, but
Interesting,
no,
man.
it was
Very
a
interesting.
good day overall. It was probably one of the best. So.
Yeah, especially getting to do it
Yeah.
with your dad, right? Your dad got one with your son, and then you got one,
Yeah,
and
that was the cool thing, right? So it's like one of those things that it's just like, yeah, I wanted to be there, but the fact that it was his grandpa, grandpa got to be there for his first deer. It's just as
yeah,
special. So I didn't take it
that's
to
awesome.
heart. I didn't get upset, of course not. I was the
Yeah,
one that was like, yeah, go ahead anyway. So,
yeah,
but
yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a great story too. What else you got? Let's keep him going.
all right, man. I have this one. So I think this is one of the few animal. I don't name my animals too much because I'm really not out to just like get a certain deer, or certain elk, or whatever usually. So I'm not like scouting one area all the time. Especially, I mean, maybe now because the area that I can hunt now has gotten a lot less. But
Okay.
so. So maybe it'll happen now, but as far as that goes, like we used to scout tons of areas, so it wasn't just after one animal, it was just mainly to go for what fills the freezer. Um,
Yeah.
But this bull, I ended up naming him just because of how he sounded. I call him the gorilla bull. He's not a big bull. He's another 4x5, but I tell you what, man, he just sounded like this monster, gigantic bull. He had this. It sounded like a gorilla, like a go, like that, and like,
Yeah.
and the way he would grunt, like he would grunt like a gorilla. It was so weird, and that's exactly what he sounded like. So that's what I called him.
Love it.
But yeah, he was a lot of fun. He was the second bull I ever actually called in for myself by myself.
Okay.
As far as archery hunting goes, he was a lot of fun. I had my mind set on this one area. I'd been scouting this area. I'd seen some elk. I'd seen a really nice 6-point from afar. From, I don't know, it had to been 800, 900 yards. Really nice 6-point bull in this area, and so that's where I was headed. It was early in the morning, and you know, sometimes I don't know if it's legal there, but it's legal to, or it was, still is as far as I know, to just stop and bugle and just hear bugles at night or when it's still dark out.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, that's legal in Colorado for sure. I've heard a lot of people advocate for that. I never even consider the idea that it might be illegal somewhere.
yeah, I don't know if it is. I couldn't tell you, but
Okay.
ever since I started doing it, that's what I've been doing. So,
Okay.
so I'm on this road. I'm on my 4-wheeler. It's a little back road, and I'm coming around this one point, and I decide, well, I'm gonna stop my 4-wheeler. And I'm gonna get out, and I'm gonna bugle out around this point. And so I get off, and I don't even grab my bow. I just wanted to go like try and locate and see if there's anything happening. Well, I get out and I get up on this point and I bugle, and right below where my 4-wheeler is parked, about 300 yards away, because I walked that far to get up around the corner to bugle, he bugles right below my 4-wheeler, probably 200 yards below my 4-wheeler. I'm like,
No way.
oh, man.
Excuse me.
And so I'm like, well, I'm going to do it. So I go back to my 4-wheeler and I get my bow and I get ready and I walk back up to the point because I knew that, because that's the way the wind was blowing away from there. So I wanted to be far enough out on the other side of him so that my wind wouldn't come right into his nose. So I get up there, and honestly, I didn't really know that like exact area extremely well. Like, I'd been in there horn hunting and stuff, but I hadn't done enough in there that I knew exactly where every trail was and all this. So
Yeah.
it's still kind of dark, and I'm going down through, and I'm finding skid trails and stuff, and I'm getting down, and he's bugling. And the whole time I hadn't bugled anymore. I just was cow calling. And I was cow calling, getting him bugle. And I get down to this, and I come out on this road, and it's daylight at this point. And I start walking down this road, and I see that it makes a sharp turn to the right. And I hear him bugle, and I know he's on the road, and he's going to come out around that corner. But I'm like, he's pretty close. I better hurry up and get closer to that corner so that when he comes around the corner, I have a shot.
Yeah.
So I started going a little faster and cow calling every once in a while just to keep him interested. And he pops out around that corner a little faster than I thought. And I didn't range him, but I was like, that he looks pretty close. Like, I practice at 60, 70 yards. So I was like pretty confident. I'm like, that looks good. So I put my 60-yard pin on him, and I shot right underneath of him. And I was like,
no.
no. Well, he takes off, and I'm like, okay, no big deal. I'll go see if I can find my arrow and whatever. So I get down there and I find my arrow and I pick up my arrow, and all of a sudden there's kind of a clear cut out to the right of me, a little bit out in front of me, and I hear a couple cow calls, and I'm like, oh, there's some cows. And didn't hear nothing else from an elk or anything. And, of course, I looked for blood a little bit too, just to make sure. But once I found my arrow, I knew that there was, there's no blood on my arrow. There was no hair, no nothing. So I knew that I'd missed clean. I was like, sweet. Because that's the last thing you want to do is wound one, right?
For sure.
So,
Absolutely, man.
So, all of a sudden these cows are just talking. So I started cow calling back and forth with them. And I think because I'd been cow calling at him and he, had a big giant bee fly right underneath of him, he kind of was a little scared about talking. So finally he kind of let out a little pedally bugle. It wasn't like his normal, like he was in the mood bugle.
Okay.
Like, oh, okay. And that helped me locate him, pick up my binoculars. Like, oh, okay, he's over there with those cows. Okay, cool. So I go over there and I go back up to the road I was on, because it come around. Actually, they were below that road in this clear cut, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk this road and get closer to him on this road, because it's pretty treed before the clear cut, so I know he wouldn't be able to see me. So I started walking this road around, and I get one draw away from him, and I cut down right into the younger timber, because I don't know, it'd probably been logged about 10 to 15 years before. I mean, the trees there were still good skid trails in it, but the trees were fairly tall to hide me. So I start going down in there to try and get closer to him. And I'm cow calling, and he would kind of, act like he was interested, but not really. Finally,
Okay.
I bugled at him again, and he was like, oh, and I got looking at him, and he was headed up to the road, and when I bugled, he turned around and was like, what the hell is that? And I was like, okay, cool. That got him interested. Well, then I started bugling at him, and he was bugling back at me. We were going back and forth, but he kind of stopped, and like, my wind was good and everything, and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And he just wouldn't come any closer. And so I kind of got over, I'm trying to get closer to him, and I get to where I quite can't see him, but I could peek out around this tree and see him with my binoculars. But I got to like where I was in cover, so because I was pretty, I don't know, I was within, as the crow flies, I was within like 150 yards of him.
Okay.
But as if you were to walk, it was longer because of the draws and all that stuff. So I bugled at him, and he started to kind of walk towards me, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to pick up a branch, and I'm just going to rake a tree. So I picked up a branch, and I just started raking a tree, and I started going, chuckling and getting all carried away. And while I was doing this, he got mad too. You could tell he was getting mad. And all of a sudden he bugles, and he sounded like he was farther away. And I'm like, what did he do? Go across and I'm like, so I'm looking. I'm like, did he go up across the road and get into the dark timber and he's going to disappear on me? And I was like, what the heck? And so I was kind of frustrated, and next thing you know, I hear this crunch, and it's like right below me. And I'm like, oh crap, he was coming. So when he bugled, and it echoed off because the draws were so steep in there. When he bugled in the draw, it sounded like it was further away. because of the way the echoing was.
Got
So
it.
when he come up the hill and I heard him coming, I'm like, oh no, he's coming now. So I get set and I draw my bow back. I'm like, he's going to pop right through this little opening, like 10 yards in front of me. So I'm like, okay, I guess this is what's going to happen. So I'm just sitting there and he goes, ooh, and I cow called and I hear him start to go to the left of me. And I'm like, oh, he's going to go try and win me. And I knew that was the way I'd come from. I was like, oh, there's a skid trail right over there. He's going to pop out on that skid trail. So I full draw, I walked over to the skid trail and stood there and waited. And he popped out on that skid trail 20 yards in front of me. And I stuck him.
No
And
way.
yeah.
That's good awareness, dude. That's really good awareness.
Yeah. And this was the third archery bull I'd gotten. But there was so many other experiences before, that had kind of gotten me aware of what that kind of stuff that they do,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool. But what was the kicker was that when I shot, I didn't hear the thump. So I kind of thought after I'd shot, I thought, man, did I hit him? Because I didn't hear it. And the other two that I'd shot with my bow before, I heard it, So I was like, whoa, what the heck? Well, I gave him the weight anyway, and I was I stopped, I was cow calling. It was a long time. Then I see the cows that were with him, they start going up this trail up on the hillside, and there were two spikes, and they start going away, and I'm like, okay, he's not with the spikes or the cows. He quit talking. Okay, so he must be down somewhere or something, and I thought I'd heard him crash, but I wasn't sure. So I started going down, and I found blood, and I was like, oh, sweet, and it was foamy pink blood. And I'm like, yeah. And I get down there, and I'm going down, and I get down into the draw, and I'm like, oh, it's good blood trail. Well, then I'm thinking, because I get down right into the middle of the draw, and there's a 10-inch round spot of blood, and I'm like, holy cow, why isn't he right here? And it starts to go up after that, and I'm like, oh no. That's all I could think of is once they start to go up, you could be done, And I go up and I come around this pretty good sized white fur on this skid trail, and he's laying. There was a tree that was laying down that was probably about 4 inches around. Huh? So I get to where he's laying down. What he'd done is there was like about a 4-inch tree that was laying across the skid trail, and he had went underneath of it and got a horn on either side of that tree and was laying underneath that tree, and he was a pretty good sized bodied bull. And I'm like, I'm not a huge guy. I'm like, at that point I was probably about 200 pounds, and I'm like 5'8", and I'm trying to get him out from underneath this, and I'm like, nope, that ain't gonna happen by myself. So, and I couldn't even get him out to gut him. And I had my grandparents lived a couple miles away, and so I just went up. I wasn't too far from my 4-wheeler, so it didn't take me very long. He was in the shade, and it wasn't a super hot day, so I went up, got on my 4-wheeler, went and got them. I called my dad. He was like, well, we're getting ready to go to this thing, and don't know if we're going to make it. And then I'm like, okay, well, I get back on my 4-wheeler, he calls my cell phone, and he's like, yeah, we're coming, we'll come help. I'm like, okay, sweet. Because he was kind of in a crap hole. It would have been, without a bunch of people and winches and stuff like that, it would have been a mess. It'd have been a lot of fun ordering him out and packing him out of there, but didn't have to quite do that. But I have, I've had to pack them out before, which I don't mind doing that either. It's just a little bit more work.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had to back out a few. That's it's the part you definitely end up remembering. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. Yep. For sure.
So cool,
So
man. Well, this is great stories, brother. I know that we're having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues, so why don't we wrap it here, Keith? I'm gonna have you back on again because I have a feeling you got a few more stories, don't you?
oh man, I got a ton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool,
So
man. Well, let's wrap it here, just because I don't want to lose you and then not be able to wrap this thing up. So let's do this. Do you want to share any of your socials or anything like that, man? Because and we'll definitely have you back on. Hopefully
okay.
sooner than it took between the last two times I tried. But do you want to like share, how people can get a hold of you or check out what you're up
Yeah,
to,
I'm
or
just.
are you gonna walk off into the sunset?
Oh yeah, I'm Keith Sperber on Instagram.
Okay.
The TikTok I'm H&G man, and for hunter and gatherer. And then my email's sperber55@gmail.com. Have any questions, especially about elk hunting? I mean, I've now, let's see, in the years since I've gotten 8 bulls with my bow. So I'm some of them were spikes or whatever, but I feel pretty good about it. Hello?
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
thought
here.
you
I'm still
lost
here.
me. But I have a little bit of experience under my belt, so
Okay. Cool,
but
man.
yeah, if anybody has any questions, more than welcome to email me and ask me questions or find me on TikTok or Instagram.
There we go.
I don't do the
Well, Keith,
Facebook
man,
thing. I don't know why.
that's right. That's right. And I mean, Instagram is basically Facebook. It's just with a different font.
You're
Um,
right.
but cool, man. Dude, I appreciate you sticking with me, making sure that I got you on here, and then of course sharing the stories with us, Keith. They were a lot of fun. We'll definitely have you back on here in the future. And my
Oh,
goal
yeah.
is, as soon as my youngest now, who is 6 months old, gets a little bit older, I'm going to be getting up to Idaho.
Oh
Once
yeah.
once I don't feel as bad about leaving him with mom, I'm gonna get up to
Right.
Idaho and I'm gonna do some bear hunting. So I'll hit you
Oh
up when I
yeah.
head up there, man.
Yeah, you'd talked about that before. So
Yeah.
I haven't done much bear hunting myself. I've seen them plenty of times in the woods, but yeah,
Yeah.
maybe next time we'll have to talk about some turkey hunting or some coyote hunting. We've done quite a bit of that too. So
Sounds good to me, brother. Sounds good to me.
all right,
All right, man. Well, Keith, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up.
hey,
You listeners, give Keith a follow. Keith, thank you again, man. Have a good night, brother.
thank you. You too. Bye.
All right, folks. That's it. Another couple stories in the books. Again, I want to thank Keith for coming on, putting up with the technical issues, and then sharing his stories with us. We will have him back on for sure, because I know he has a lot more to share. And hopefully, him and I can run into each other up in Idaho hunting some bears sometime soon. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I think I'm going to stop numbering these things. So this is not episode 201. We're just going to start putting titles on these things and not worrying about numbers anymore. 200 was something to celebrate, but now let's just hear some good stories. We're not going to worry about that stuff ever again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please give us a review, share the podcast, find us on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Follow us for more giveaways when we do those. Thank you, and now get out there and make some stories of your own.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.